Welcome to the Happy Humanoids Perspective, where your beliefs are challenged, thoughts provoked, and where you may find your happy place whether you like it or not.
And here are your hosts, Edith and Miles. Woohoo!
Woohoo! Welcome everyone to our show. My name is Miles Keever, and I'm an Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator for the 4th year now. We just got back from Costa Rica, joined here again by my lovely co-host and wife.
Hello everyone, my name is Edith Paul, and I am a new certified facilitator as well. Well, newly certified, I guess.
Yes.
We came back, was it this week, last week?
Recently.
Yeah.
A week ago. Well, anyway.
Less than a week ago, yeah.
Just over a week, I think.
Yeah. And now we're in Quebec.
Here we are. Woohoo!
We arrived today in Quebec, to see family and teach some classes. So how does it get any better than this?
Awesome. You have a weird thing with your microphone right there. You might want to untwist your...
Yeah, okay.
There.
Cool.
Because it looks kind of cool there on your chin. It's like it's like embedded microchip thing going on. It didn't quite finish the job. It's on the outside still.
Yeah. So tonight, this is our 48th.
48th show, that's right.
Yeah. And we talk about the vibrational compatibility. What do you desire?
Yeah. So
what is that?
What is that? There's so much to talk about with this vibrational compatibility. Capacity, oh, that's interesting. Compatibility, like choosing what is it that you desire in your life, and how can you shift your energy to be attractive to the thing or person that you're interested in. I had interesting awareness this morning. We left early this morning to catch a plane, and we opted in to take the executive ride to the airport. And it was so, it's like before we've taken different variations. We've parked our car, we've gotten people friends to take us there. We've taken a super shuttle, like with the bus with everyone else. And today we took just the executive car, and it was so nice. It was different than obviously taking the shuttle, where you pick up several people. We just had a straight shot to the airport. And the energy that I felt in having done that was it was a shift in matching the, becoming compatible with having that in my life, having that same sort of dynamic in my life, whether it's buying certain foods that I like, that I maybe would say, oh, it's too expensive this week or whatever, for whatever conclusion that I've come to, or as simple as taking an executive car to the airport. It was such a difference in my energy and the level of appreciation and gratitude for my life this morning than it would have been to take the regular shuttle or some other way. So that's kind of what we'll be talking about more tonight, is just how do we create that vibrational compatibility with what it is that we desire. It can be anything that you desire. It can be a person or a thing or more joy. Like Edith was talking about joy the other day. I was like, oh, I didn't even think about being compatible to joy, So everything that doesn't allow you to get everything that you desire from this podcast and everything you desire from this universe, and everything that doesn't allow you to become vibrationally compatible with all of that, we'd please destroy and uncreate all that times Godzillion.
Yes, right and wrong, good and bad, puck and putt, all 9 shorts, belows and beyonds. What does that mean? Being vibrationally compatible with something. It's about being the same energy, being the energy of what you desire to have or be. And a gentle reminder here, you have access to all the energies that are available on this planet. And if you believe you don't, and you have been all these energies in the past. It's so if you have some resistance to this, well, create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Yes, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, on and shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah, there's something about the resistance, like thinking that there's some, like for me, using the example of the executive car today, in the past, I would have gone into my head thinking, oh, why? It's only a half an hour ride. Why invest in more money? It's only, it doesn't make that much difference. I mean, the seats aren't that much more comfortable, or, it's still the same drive. What's the big deal? And going into my head about, well, why would I invest that much more money for just, it's like, I don't, in the past, that's what I would have done. I would have analyzed it from a perspective of finance or practicality, and not from a space of energy. And I think being vibrational compatible with something is really addressing the energetic contribution that you desire. So if it's, for example, let's just keep with the shuttle, the executive car for me, the energetic contribution that had for me was like, it was expansive. It was something of gratitude. It was just an appreciation. I felt the wealth within me that I am aware of. And compared to just taking the shuttle, which would have been less money, it maybe wouldn't have been as nice of a drive. It would have been maybe more noise, or it's usually like one of those air vents is usually broken, so there's like usually air conditioning blowing right on your face or something, or the person in front of you has theirs turned up and it's just like, super cold in there most of the times. So there's like this difference of choosing that little moment of like, and I think it comes down to just a moment of like having that possibility of choosing something greater, or choosing from a space that we're familiar with, and that it's comfortable. It's like, well, I've been down that road before. I've been with that shuttle before. I know what to expect. I know what it's going to cost, and I can go that route. Or I can choose something, just a little bit of an upgrade. And how much more did that contribute to my life today? It was, I would say, a great amount. And it's just that moment of choice. That's what Gary and Dane says. It's everything is just a choice. If you just have to choose it. So everywhere that we are choosing from the space of conclusion, memory, experience, finance, logic, and avoiding the energetic contribution that the other choice could be, or one of the other choices could be, will you please destroy and uncreate all that times godzillion?
Right and wrong, good and bad, puck and pot, all nine shorts, bows and beyonds. Being vibrational compatible with something, that's the way to attract what you desire. Like, because like attracts like. That's how it works in this universe. If you want to attract like a lot of money, like let's take this example, because it's often what people desire more, what they desire in their life, to have more money. Yeah. So it's about looking at your life. Okay, when I have the day that I have this money, what will my life be? And look at the energy that it will create into your life. Okay, is it like to be more expensive? Is it like to be more joy? Is it like to have this sense of freedom? And it's about choosing today to be that energy of joy, of freedom, and what did I say, expansion? And it's about that. Today we were at the airport, and now we went to see my dad after when we arrived, and a man said something. He said, when you make a choice, there's always a price to pay. Interesting point of view. And for me, it was, choice is probably the thing that doesn't cost anything.
Yeah.
So it's a choice between you and you. Yeah. And it's about choosing now. You have access to all the energies that exist on this planet. which one do you desire to be in? Which one do you desire to choose to be in? And by choosing these energies, that will allow you, like I said, like for the money, if it's that for you, it's about, hey, I choose to be expensive today.
Mm-hmm.
I choose, and it's about, okay, I'm create and destroy everything that doesn't allow that. I choose to be joy. What if, whatever you live in your life, it's about choosing to be the joy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a choice between you and you that you have to do. And what is, I don't remember the freedom. What if it's about, no matter what kind of situation you live in your life, if you choose with yourself to be free, and it's again, it's about uncreate and destroy everything that doesn't allow you to be free, to be joy, to be expansion, to be lightness, whatever you desire to create. Because look at what you desire in your life. It's not, yes, it is what it is, but there's always behind. How would that make you feel? What kind of energy it will create into your life?
Right.
This is what you desire. And it's about, and in this reality, it's a lot about the doing. Well, if I want to, an example, if you want to have more money, it's about, okay, what I have to do.
Right.
And here it's not about subtracting the doing. It's not about that. It's about, what energy, space, and consciousness can I be?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's with the energy of being that you will attract. Of course, you will have to do, you will receive once you ask that question, whatever you ask for, that, and you follow the guidance of all that. This is where you will create this energy, and you will create the possibilities in your life. So yeah, it's all about that. It's about allowing you to be an energy in order for you to attract something different in your life. If you expect for the universe to give you something different, and you keep yourself in a space of shit, a space of hope, a space of expectation of life, and you expect the universe to do for you what you have to do, guess what? It doesn't work this way. It's about you and the energy that you're holding yourself into. And look at this, if you receive what you receive right now in your life, and what if what you receive, this is the vibrational compatibility with what you hold yourself into, the energy you're holding yourself into.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everything that brought up, we now and create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and popcorn, and shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah, that's really interesting. We've been talking about the space of being and more recently, as opposed to doing. And during the train that we went to this in Costa Rica, this is my 4th year in as a facilitator now, and just now getting what Gary's saying. He's just saying the same basic thing over and over in a different way, where we can finally get it more. And he said, for what I heard a lot was just, it's about being the space, not doing. And we catch ourselves a lot, like, what do we need to do? It's, oh no, it's not about doing, it's the being space. And it's like, I have a couple of things I want to talk about: money, and just like you were saying, Edith, about finding out what that is. How, let's say, if it's money that you desire, what is the energy that money brings you? Or if you can get into that space where you had a little bit of money, or had a moment where money was like, you felt that joy, that expansion, and that wealth that money or coins or something, some experience gave you, or some time that you had. That's the energy that you want to match. That's the energy that you want to look for in the universe, and ask for, what would it take for me to be this vibrational energy for all eternity? And so it's almost like you're kind of romancing. If it's money that you want, you're romancing money. Like, what can you be so that money would come and play with you? What what qualities of play would you like to be for money to come play with you, because money follows joy. And yeah, it is like this, the sort of romance. Like if I were to think of myself as very responsible with money and I'm very organized with money, and there's like a restriction, not to say that being irresponsible is a good thing, but just being responsible in the way that means restriction, responsible in a way that does not mean being open to something greater. When I was in Costa Rica, Gary had said some simple phrase, and I started asking that question. He said, ask your money what can I be, or how can my money make me more money? Something like that. I wrote it down and I asked that question. I was like, oh, that's a great question for me. There was like an energy for me that just like zinged. I was like, oh yeah, that felt really light for me. So I began asking that question that day. And later, the following morning, I sat down with someone and we had this conversation about investment, something about investment, which was really light for me. And I pursued it. And that was like instant sort of awareness. Choice brings awareness about what I could choose with my money to create more money. And that was in that moment when I heard Gary say, asking your money, how could it make more money? And at that question, the energetics of that question was like, oh yeah, that's light for me. That's what I want to follow. And then the next morning I had a conversation with someone, and that was the same energy that matched the energy of the question. So that was the way in which I was able to relate being vibrationally compatible with the energy that you desire. So everywhere that you're thinking that it's all about doing and that we have to do stuff instead of first coming from the place of being. Like once Edith and I decided to make that choice with investment, we had a whole lot of stuff to do in a very short amount of time to make that happen. But it was the being, this energy of being that energy, desiring to have more of that energy, that created the space for us and created the choice and the awareness for us to move forward in that direction. So everywhere that you think to be vibrationally compatible with whatever you desire means doing something, will you destroy doing something first. So as opposed to being that energy, will you destroy and uncreate all of that times a godzillion, please?
Yes, right and wrong, good and bad, puck and puddle, nine shorts, boys and beyond. Because we are a being. Mm-hmm. We are not a doing. And we do things, of course, in our life. But we are a being. That's what we are. And in this being, there's an energy, a space, and a consciousness. And when if I take the example I gave before about the money thing, about choosing joy, but what is it in you? It's not about forcing yourself to be that joy. It's about, well, maybe sometimes this is something that is required because we have been for how many lifetimes in the sadness or the grief and all that. What if it's about choosing it again every 5 seconds if it's required to be that joy?
Especially if you created it like I did. Hello. Created grief and sadness. Hello, I was one of the creators. Do it so well.
Yeah, and it's about I lost what I wanted to say.
I apologize.
Oh yeah, what is it? No, what is it that you? What is it that would bring joy into your life? What is it? It's about. Yeah, and if you don't know, what if it's about asking the question, what would it take for me to know, be, perceive, and receive what brings joy into my life? Because I don't know if you are like me, but there was a time in my life where I still have these moments. What will bring me joy? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. So what if it's about asking question about that? What will it take for me to know, be, perceive, and receive? What will bring me joy into my life, or what will bring me lightness? What what would it take for me to create lightness into my life and choose whatever will create more lightness? You know, that kind of question. Or if you don't know what kind of question ask, so what question can I ask here that will create more lightness in my life, or that will create more joy? So it's really about asking question about to become, to be this energy. Because when you begin, when you are this vibrational compatibility, you become vibrationally compatible, you begin to attract the person, you begin to attract the substance you desire to attract. So it's really, if you want to do it the easiest way, I guess, for me, that's how I am. I think it's the easiest way because a lot of people did it through the doing and the hard way, and that's cool. That's fine. Mm-hmm. Depends which way you want to do it. But I'm a lazy person, a wonderful and lazy person in a certain way.
You like to think you are, but I don't see you're very lazy. You like to think that you would be lazy. You maybe desire to be lazy, but you're nothing closer to lazy than a bear is to like a cross-country runner. You know,
yeah. There's someone else inside of me that is not me.
Yeah, you'd like to be lazy, but you're not.
Yeah, I'm not. I prefer to work hard, and it seems like it's the false belief.
But I gotta say, I'm going to interrupt here. You know, that's the interesting point that you. It's like actually lazy is really being smart, and it's not really. It's like what I've seen with you, Edith, is how you've transformed the way you be. Is you had more. It's like your energy has shifted in a way of trying to find more ease in your life and becoming more toward this. If you want to call it lazy, that's fine, but it's not lazy. It's just more like ease. You know, you're finding like ways to do it without all of the, like there's ways to do something. Like you can, like when I was a kid, I remember like having a tantrum or something and like having to like, let's say like eat something on my
plate. Tantrum?
Yeah.
I cannot believe this. Not at all.
Okay, maybe not. I don't know. Let's just pretend I had a tantrum and just like pretend that you'd be lazy, okay? And so let's pretend I had a tantrum as a kid, like because I wasn't want to eat something on my plate. And so I just was like, a tantrum could be like being stubborn. That could be a tantrum in a way. A silent tantrum. That's what I was doing good at. So I would have a silent tantrum by sitting and not eating whatever it was, until eventually I knew I was either going to have to eat it or get on with my life. So instead of like going through all of this like craziness, stubbornness, fireworks activity, I could just either choose something different, find the easy way to do it, say what my parents needed to hear to get on with my life, or go through all the trauma and drama. And I think that's what we tend to do is we get caught up in this trauma and drama of thinking that that's the doing part. Like to get what I want, I've got to go through the trauma and drama and learn a lesson, and then I can choose something different. What if that whole part about trauma and drama and learning a lesson is just BS? It's just like an illusion that we keep ourselves small, or keep a reason to keep us from being something greater. So what if we could just go from, oh, I would like to have this. Okay, what's required of me to do that today? As easy as that. And that's what I see you doing, Edith, is more about sidestepping the sort of like the energy of trying to get it done, and like this energy, which is still there and it's good. It's just that you don't have to always choose it. You can just go around it and say, oh, what would be easy for me? And then you're choosing that. That, I think, is finding the vibrational compatibility of ease or joy or lightness. You know, it's not going up against this irritation or being stubborn or whatever it is that we play out. You know, it's really about being aware of the energy that we desire, being aware of maybe it's a person that we desire, and asking, okay, would that person like to come and play with me? If not, what would I need to choose differently for myself to be interesting to that person, interesting to joy, interesting to money, interesting to having a plethora of friends, or interesting to happiness. You know, what would I have to choose? If I was like stubborn and stuck and not feeling good, happiness isn't really going to want to play with me. If you think of it like a personified happiness, that's a good way to do it for me. Then what would I need to be? Okay, maybe I need to be more open. Okay, put my points of view aside. And then pot and pocking all those points of view, like everything that comes up about, oh, I don't want to be happy. Okay, who does that belong to? Or you know, where did I first get into that? Pot and pock all that. Or what's the value of being stubborn? Pot and pock all that. Or how is it valuable for me to not choose happiness? All those things are things that I can clear and then have a better choice of moving into happiness. Hey, thanks for the close-up. That's really cool.
Oh,
Nice.
no, people don't see it.
No,
They
what?
just see you. No, they don't see it.
They see you.
No, when you talk, it's just only one person at a time that
Oh, I
they
thought
see.
you were on there too. Edith just
Yeah.
gave me a nice close-up of her smile.
Yeah, well, it's because we're at a friend's house and she has a little dog, Marie. She's so cute. She's so cute. So I wanted her to come and see me, but I just did the close up again. So
Oh, good. So we
she's
all
leaving
get
now.
to see a picture of it.
Yeah. So yeah, what is it that you would like to be? What is this energy that you would like to create in your life? What is it, this energy that you would like to function from? And what if it's about asking questions about that? What would it take for me to be vibration? Well, like if it is ease, because we talk a lot about ease. What would it take for me to function from ease? And everything that doesn't allow that, I am create and destroy. It's about asking questions about that too. What is it, this energy that you would like to be in your life? It's the same as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and everything that doesn't allow you. All the struggle between you and you, and that doesn't allow you to create this vibrational compatibility with ease, with joy, with lightness, with fun. Will you now create and destroy it all times a godzillion?
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock on and shorts, boys and beyond.
And all the force that you use against you that keep you from creating this vibrational compatibility with ease, joy, fun, lightness, wealth, expansion. Will you know and create and destroy it all times a godzillion?
And marshmallows. Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock on and shorts, boys and beyond.
And all the counter force that you use against you. Whoa. That keeps you from choosing being this vibrational compatibility, is it with of joy, either or. Yeah, joy, expansion, lightness, fun, aliveness. Yeah, and I said that expansion will, and create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
2 times expansion, yes, right, wrong, good and bad,
yeah,
shorts, boys and beyonds.
Yeah. Yeah, what if it's about asking question, even if you don't know at all what it means? What if it's about asking question about that and creating and destroy everything that doesn't allow you to be vibrationally compatible with what you desire in your life?
Yeah, that's it. Because like I said, going back to the example of like asking how my money can create more money for me, I didn't actually was focusing, thinking about how can my money create more money for me. I just had this light thought. That's a great question. How can my money create more money for me? And then I just went on my way. And it's then the next morning I was like, oh yeah, I just remembered I asked that question. So it wasn't like it was. I mean, you can put it on a loop, which is a great idea, and to have it in your awareness and keep going with it. But I didn't. I maybe asked it twice, and then here's here's a possibility that showed up for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just about asking the simple questions, not making it complex, just making it really easy for you. What would it take for this to show up for me? So
Yeah. And, oh, geez, I wanted to add something here. Oh, I missed it.
What
would it take for me to remember? Oh, yeah, this thing about the universe.
Mm.
And sometimes I am what is the word? I am
Brilliant.
surprised. I think it begins with an F, but yeah.
Flabbergasted.
Yeah, that could be that. Let's use this word.
Funny.
By the universe, and when we ask questions. And it's like I asked question 1 or 2 days ago, and I receive the awareness, and I receive what I desired at that moment 2 or 3 hours after that.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened, I don't know how many times in my life. I created that where I asked question, and I receive the awareness. I receive the guidance to follow this what I desire in my life. So yeah, what if it's about asking question? Clear. Have your bars run, of course, if you want to create more ease and more joy and fun in a natural way.
Yeah.
The bars are a great tool that can support you in whatever you desire to create. So, okay, I will finish with a great question about if you desire more money.
Okay.
What would it take for you to become vibrationally compatible with gold, silver, money, and wealth? And everything that doesn't allow that, well, and create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Yes, mammy. Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pocket, on shorts, boys and beyonds. Well, that's our show for tonight. Next week, we will be back in Florida, bringing it to you live again at our same standard time. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we will see you again next time.
Thanks for listening, and please give us a honk of support by subscribing, commenting, and sharing the show with your friends. Or, if you didn't like the show, please share it with your enemies.
I just want to add here that those geese that you hear are from Canada, and that's where we are. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.